Now, the coronavirus outbreak is spreading across the world, and a lot of people are having questions. One is, of course, about the spread of the disease, and the second one is about the economy.
The World Health Organization warned on Tuesday of a global shortage of protective equipment and price hikes because of the coronavirus.
में कोरोना के मरीजों की संख्या 1000 के पार पहुंच चुकी है।
COVID-19 found in one of the world's most populated cities in sub-Saharan Africa. More countries shutting down schools, and the Dow plunging again. It's the worst week since the 2008 Great Recession.
Stock market fell sharply with Sensex tanking about 2,000 points. Nifty fell by more than 550 points and hit a 52-week low.
COVID tremors are still being felt by markets across the world. Sensex also tripped drastically today. Let's cut across
overnight after yesterday's historic losses. All three of Wall Street's major indexes plunged more than 7% on Monday. The Dow's more than 2,000-point drop is a one-day record.
Now, for the ones who don't know, the COVID-19 or the coronavirus disease 2019 emerged in China, Wuhan, in 2019 and then spread across the world. One of the main reasons why this disease spread so quickly was because of the Chinese New Year. This deadly disease spread across China to the other parts of the world after the Chinese New Year that was in late January. Now, the Chinese New Year is a huge festival where a lot of people from different parts of the world go back to China to spend time with their families, and also a lot of business people go there for trade reasons, which was the main reason why this disease could spread to different parts of the world so quickly. I'm sure you know that the markets are plunging, the trades are halting, and that is why the global economy has slowed down. And this deadly disease is already causing an impact on the global economy. And that is why the coronavirus will lead to a recession. Now, if you're wondering, hey Anisha, what's recession? Let me explain. Recession is a period of a temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced. For any trade or business to happen, there are three parties involved. One is the consumer, second is the retailer, and third is the manufacturer. So you need to understand that this is an entire cycle. First one up is the consumer. Second is the retailer or the brand that sells the products. Third is the manufacturer here. The brands sell their products in the malls. Now, since the malls are shut and the consumers are asked to be quarantined and stay inside their house to safeguard themselves from the disease, due to which they do not go to the mall, and hence the money from their pockets is not transferred to the malls. So these brands see a huge impact on their sales. The sales go down, due to which they don't go to the manufacturers. Here, the manufacturers are again impacted and they stop producing. Since the retailers are not getting the products from them, they do not produce it, due to which we notice an economic slowdown. Now, this is a huge vicious circle causing recession. Now, I am no expert in recession because when the last recession hit, I wasn't even working. But I could tell you three things that you could notice in a recession and the steps that you could take when this recession sets in. The first thing that you'll notice in a recession is that the consumer confidence will go down. Now, if you don't know what's a consumer confidence, it is a statistical measure of consumers' feelings about the current and future economic conditions. The government uses this statistical data as an indicator to understand the overall state of economy. So here, this is the chart of the Indian consumer confidence. So if you notice here, in Jan 2020, you will see a huge dip in the consumer confidence. Now, this is really huge for the economy. Now, what really affects the consumer confidence? Nothing but the uncertainty that is happening around. Just a quick thing here, when the consumer confidence goes higher, they are ready to borrow, which means they have the confidence of repaying in future. But as of now, the consumer confidence has definitely dipped. Now, the second thing is the companies will have less confidence. A lot of companies won't make decisions to grow or launch new products. We have already seen brands postponing their launch dates, business conferences being cancelled, exhibitions being cancelled, which are now also affecting the big companies. We've also seen some airline companies announcing pay cuts, but the businesses that are going to be affected the most are the smaller ones. We really don't understand, but there are a lot of businesses that depend on day-to-day business. Like I definitely know there are a lot of food joints in India that are going to be impacted because people are not going to go to the places thinking that they would be affected by this virus. So it's really going to be hard time for the businesses. Third, what you'll notice in a recession is the lack of supply. As I said in the beginning, it's like a vicious circle and it's all going to have a domino effect. Since the consumers don't go to the retailers to buy, the retailers are not going to go to the manufacturers and the manufacturers are not going to produce, which is why you'll definitely notice a lack in supply. Because trust me guys, it's very evident that until the fear of this virus doesn't go away, people are going to stay at home and follow all precautionary measures. So if you're wondering, Anisha, what to do, Let me give you a few points on how you could work out stuff during this crisis situation. First, and the most important thing is you definitely need to have a spending plan. Do plan out yourself or maybe with your partner and definitely come up with a plan at least for another 6 months. Situations don't nearly seem to be improving, but even if it improves, it's going to have an impact for at least the next 6 months to 1 year. You're definitely going to need to have a plan on how you're going to do the spending for the next 6 months. If there are certain things that you feel that are not necessary at the moment and can be postponed, it's advisable to do that. The second thing is you need to maintain an emergency fund. Along with a spending plan, you also need to have an emergency fund in case the situations go out of hand. So do your calculations and find out where your money is stuck, and probably you can just save it as an emergency fund before the situations worsen. Third, you don't have to sell all the stocks that you have in the market. Just because the media is shouting all over about the markets being in red doesn't mean that you need to sell all your stocks. In fact, a lot of experts believe that this is a good time to invest, but only if you have your spending plan and your emergency fund ready. Fourth is a really important point where you need to keep yourself employable. Now, once recession hits, you might notice a lot of companies announcing pay cuts. Along with that, you might notice some people being laid off. So it's necessary for you to keep yourself employable. For instance, you can just learn a new skill in the next 3 months or probably take up new projects that could help the company. Now, the fifth one is generating a side income. Now, you're quarantined, you're sitting at home, and you're getting a lot of time for yourself. So this is the time that you could start your YouTube channel, you could write or finish the book that you started, or probably just learn a new skill that you always wanted to learn, which will help you to have a side income. So these are the 5 points from my side how you could sustain recession. One more thing that I wanted to add here is you could also check for some insurance. Look guys, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not a pro at recession, but I have definitely heard of companies that have started during the recession and have flourished. A lot of investors have invested during this period and have become rich. So stay safe physically and financially. That's it folks for today. Hope you liked this video. Do give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and also subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon next to it because I have a lot of videos coming up and I wouldn't want you to miss even a single one. Bye for now guys. See you later.